Hey everybody, quick message for you this week. I hope you're having a great Christmas season so far. You know, I got a couple of notices this week on my accounts. YouTube sent me a notice that said, hey, this is your year. This is what you spent most of your time looking at this past year. And it was so funny to say that most of it was cooking videos and baking videos. And then they said, I also like to watch videos about gadgets and little electronics, which my son would tell you is definitely true. I like gadgets and electronics. But then I also got a notice from my music on iTunes, and it said, hey, here's what you've been listening to most this year. And it said, I listen to mostly Christian music, which is great. And my favorite artist is Charity Gale, which I would also agree. And it says that I listen to the song Cleansed more than any other song this year. It was kind of a fun way to get a year in review. It kind of lets me know what's been going in here and going in here. You know, Jesus said that you can tell a lot about a person by what comes out of their heart. He says the mouth speaks what the heart is full of. Because just before that, he said the good man brings the good things out of the good things stored up in his heart, and the evil man brings the evil things out of the evil things stored up in his heart. So the question for you this week is, what are you storing up in your heart? You know, this Christmas, we're going to be storing up pictures on our phones and videos from all the time we spend with family, which is always really wonderful. But we will also be storing up memories from all of the times we're together with our family that we love so much that we don't get to see as often as we want to. But what are you storing up on a daily basis in here? You know, as we go into a new year, often people think about, what do I need to change and so forth, and what New Year's resolutions am I going to have? What do I want to look? How do I want to look different in next year than I do now? A lot of what we can tell about ourselves is found on the history in our computer, what we're watching on the computer, where we spend our free time. If we're loading up on the news, making sure we get as much news as possible, and maybe we're hating on the politicians that we hate and hating on those world situations that we hate, and we're kind of ruminating on those things. That's getting stored up in here. Or maybe if you're a young person and you like video games, whatever you're playing on, you know, your video games, that's kind of what you're storing up in your heart and in your mind. You know, so you can tell a lot about yourself from what you're storing up in here. And if you find a lot of frustration and anger and vitriol coming out of your heart, it might be what you're storing up through the year while you're, you know, using your free time. I know a lot of wonderful people that I dearly love, that if I had one piece of advice to give them, it would be, maybe you need to watch should be watching the news so much that the news is bringing you down. So for some people, it's social media. They're on social media all the time, and they just constantly spend time on their phone. You can go back through your phone and have your phone tell you what app you've spent most time on, and maybe that's something you need to cut out or cut down in 2026. Whatever it may be for you, I hope that you just remember, like I'm always trying to remember, that we need to think about the good things, the heavenly things, the righteous, the pure, the trustworthy, the excellent, the admirable things of God. You know, my algorithms on my apps tell me that I like things like baking videos and cooking videos and gadgets, but it also tells me I like things like babies and children laughing at dogs and people doing wonderful good deeds for other people. And that has really changed what's going on in here. And of course, spending a lot of time in the Word and in worship changes what's going into here, so that what comes out of here is what hopefully reflects the heart and the mind of Christ. God bless you. Take this to heart. Go back and look at what your content is and where you're getting your, where you're spending your free time and what you're looking at. And then if you need to, make some changes, because it might make a big difference in your 2026. Love you. Merry Christmas. And keep walking with Jesus, and I'll see you next week.